Mr. Guillermo Rigondeaux. First of all, thanks for joining us. Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes. And what are your thoughts and how excited are you for the event this coming Saturday?
Bueno, gracias por invitarme. Gracias a todos por el venir. Prácticamente estoy aquí. Una invitación bien especial que me hicieron.
I'm here for a special invitation that they did.
Vine a apoyar a todos mis hermanos los cubanos para la pelea del sábado.
On Saturday.
Y representar a Cuban Boxing Club, que va a ser un buen combate para el sábado. Y pienso que ya que el trabajo ya está hecho ya y se va a demostrar el sábado y va a ser un buen show.
I think it's going to be a great show, and I'm here for my Cubans to support them.
Bueno, y yo prácticamente preparándome 100%, prácticamente creo que para enero más o menos yo pienso que hay una pelea para mí aquí con el profe Pedro Díaz y todos mis compañeros que me van a ayudar también.
And I think on January I'll be here also in a fight with Dr. Pedro Díaz.
Y Lester, por supuesto, también el otro profe, Lester Díaz también, que va a hacer un buen trabajo también y me va a apoyar en todo lo que tenga que hacer aquí. Gracias a todos.
Thank you all, and I'm also with Coach Lester. I'll be training for probably on January a fight.
Awesome. Muchas gracias, Senor Rigondeaux. Now, I've got a last question before we go on to our friends from meeting our audience. Abdu, Rozik, good afternoon, brother. Thanks for joining us. Everybody adores you. Every time you go to events, everybody loves you. You make the event even better. So thanks for coming by. And what are your thoughts on the event this coming Saturday?
Rozik, салом алейкум Ки, рахмат омдагитонба, ҳама одамоте назм минад, мебинад видеото мегӯяд ва инҷа бо омдагит ба чӣ хел мегӯяд? Ма ин шами ма ин кубински боксёро вай мекунад да мусобиқа дам буро. Чӣ меги ҳамин гапа да? Ту ба чӣ хел мефорад анами?
गवर्नमेंट हज़ार रहमत करूं कि मरा दावत करें गवर्नमेंट हज़ार रहमत करूं कि मरा दावत करें मां बहुत विषय महत्वपूर्ण मां विषय खुर्सान हज़ार रहमत जिंदा बशे.
Thank you for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to be in such events, especially when it concerns the boxing, because this is also what I want to do, like to box. Regarding my opponents, we will talk later probably, but it's a pleasure to be here around the professionals. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. And if I may say, on behalf of everybody, we are excited to see you fight next time. Okay? All right, now let's go on to the audience and friends from media. Please, if you have some question, please raise your hands up. We're going to give you a microphone. Yep. Any question? Yes, sir.
Hey, this is to anyone. Who came up with the name The People's Fight? Why is it The People's Fight? And I just want to clarify, are all the boxers based here now in the UAE?
It's an interesting thing, and I should have said this before when I started. The main promoter, Fongoum, used to live in Cuba, and he used to train with these boxers. They formed a club called the Cuban Boxers Club. And when the pandemic happened, he kind of got stuck. He traveled here, he settled his family here. And in fact, kudos to the person, and I think he deserves a round of applause. He couldn't leave his team back. So he got all of them here, and the boxers are presently here in Dubai with him. So it's his team that he's built ground up, and very few people in the world do this. So a round of applause to our main promoter.
Thank you.
And, the People's Fighter is basically to represent the commonality, not to give it a super exotic status, is to get everybody at the ground level inclusive. And that's how it's fought in Cuba at that level. It's at the people level. So the idea is to build a platform on a common ground level and build it up. That is the whole idea that People's Fighter name came across.
Thank you very much. Any more questions, please? Yes, sir.
I have a question to the promoters of this event. I would like to ask that, do you believe that events like this, boxing events like this, will contribute in the growth of the boxing in this part of the world?
So there is a sudden surge of contact sports. If you look at the region, UFC has become very big. You have fight islands happening in Abu Dhabi. You have one championship looking at this part of the world. The Arab world, the Middle East and North African belt is full of young people who are a lot into contact sports. If you look around yourself, the MMAs, the contact sports centers are dime a dozen coming up. And can you imagine if on the top of that, there are these professionally trained boxers who we call as people fighters. They will add an amazing dimension to the region, and you will not be surprised that in a year or so, you get boxers from the local industry, the local market, who will be competing along with them. I'm 100% sure about it. There is tremendous amount of talent on contact sports in this part of the world.
Thank you so much. So my next question will be Mr. Guillermo. Buenas tardes, Guillermo. Bienvenidos a Dubái. Pues tienes una trayectoria exitosa, pues has peleado, bueno, has tenido 23 peleas, de cual has ganado 20 y pues has ganado de todos niveles. Y mi pregunta sería, porque últimamente hemos visto el trend que ha empezado, el boxeo de influencers. O sea, esto nació en Europa y Estados Unidos y la ola ha llegado a Dubái también, porque últimamente hemos visto que en Coca-Cola Arena han habido unos eventos de peleas entre influencers. Quería preguntarte, ya que eres un boxeador de alto nivel y has ganado todo, o sea, ¿qué opinas de esto? ¿Estas peleas de influencers, tú crees que aportan de una manera positiva a los jóvenes?
Por supuesto. No,
Maybe know what the question was in English?
no, por supuesto.
Just in summary, what was the question in English, please? Thank you.
He's talking about the influencers fights. If you think that's positive for
Sí, no,
for the generation.
Es una gran oportunidad para todos los muchachos y cada vez van cogiendo más experiencia y van a hacer al 100% las cosas. Todo les va a salir al 100% porque tienen toda la juventud y lo van a hacer muy bien. Y esto es algo diferente para ellos, pero ellos tienen la experiencia que lo pueden hacer bien.
Si te llama un influencer para pelear contigo, ¿te aceptarías la propuesta? Aunque sabemos de que lo que va a pasar.
What was the translation first of the answer?
¿Cómo he pensado?
Rigo. So habla despacio porque yo no soy doctor. So he thinks it's 100% something positive that they can do because they're young, the influencers, and he's 100% in favor to that.
Yeah, awesome. I agreed to that one. I was just a ring announcer last Friday, and that was awesome. Coca-Cola Arena. Yes, sir, you got a question?
Yeah, just a few of the other fighters. What are your expectations? Do you know each other? Do you know each other's styles? Are you hoping for a close fight?
Well, let's start with Mr. Lambert Fongoum, man. You're a local here. You got a great fan base. What are your thoughts about your opponent?
Well, first thing I have to respect my opponent. The tough dude with a lot of knockouts on his record. But I haven't fought him before. So this will be the first time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Mr. John Appari, what is your response and what are your thoughts about your opponent, Lambert?
Thank you very much this afternoon. We thank Almighty God that He has brought us from Ghana to Dubai. It's not easy, but His grace we are able to reach this early dawn by the grace of Abdu. Yeah, this is my first time of being in Dubai fighting with my opponent, and it's because of the title fight I'm here with my team. And I'm going to make it for Africa and Ghana back. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. No one else for now? Okay, let's have Faizan. Faizan, you're a very young prospect. You're only 20 years old? 20, 19 years old. Yeah, very young. Great career ahead. Your last fight was against a guy who was so much older than you, though. And what kind of confidence do you bring into the table for this fight on Saturday?
First of all, good afternoon everyone, and it's been an honor to be a part of this show, like People's Fighter, like first Cuban Promotion Fighting Championship. It's like good. And about the last event, on my last fight, I fought like very experienced guy, and it was a good experience. We had a tough fight, very close, but probably I got a one, and it's a good experience for me. And this coming Saturday, I'm very excited to put a nice show on it. And this time, like we'll keep it simple. Just you guys will see what will happen on Saturday. Thank you.
Awesome.